All right, award ceremony time. Then we're going to look ahead at the Celtics schedule. Boxing out.
Boxing out. Okay, it is Celtics 3-point percentage tonight, 14.3.
Yikes.
3 of 21. They were 1 for 7 in the fourth quarter.
Yikes.
Jeff Green was 1 for 7 for the game.
Yikes.
And they scored 80 points in the night, and I think that was a big reason why. So, terrible shooting. 3-point shooting from the Celtics again.
We weren't going to use this stat because we just determined it was a garbage stat, but we'll throw it out there anyway.
You said you actually told me not to use it.
Yeah, and now I'm going to use it. It was all a ruse so I could use the stat. And this isn't even my boxing out yet, but the Celtics scored 80 points and took more than 90 field goal attempts. Fourth time it's happened this year. A third time it's happened in the last 10 days in the league.
Third time it's happened in team history since 1985.
And 180th time it's happened since 1985. So it's not that special of a stat. But it's something fun that we found.
The last time the Celtics did it was 2007, before they traded for
back
KG,
when Gerald Green was their leading scorer.
There's
full circle, everyone. Yep. With Gerald Green comes misery for the Celtics.
Long story short, terrible shooting.
So, short story short, the Celtics had 8 players scoring at least 8 points in less than 11 points tonight. So that is balanced mediocrity.
That's the first time that's happened ever.
I think.
I just made that up.
Probably. It probably is. I'm sure we could ask for it.
They probably have some high-scoring games where everyone just went off for 8+ points.
Or they just had a fire-breathing dragon. That's not a real segue, but I just want to talk about my baller of the night, Goran Dragic, who was phenomenal. He has been the second coming of Steve Nash for years now, and he continues to not quite be that second coming, but he's turned into a very good scorer. He's not the passer, but you look at just the way that he moves, the cadences, the way he keeps his chest open and upright while he dribbles the ball.
Chest.
He's got a dragon chest, a fire-breathing dragon chest, and he's just got such a good touch. He really is turning into the player that we thought he could be in 2009, where he had that incredible playoff run.
He's getting the chance too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he had that big opportunity this season when my baller of the night, Eric Bledsoe, went down with a knee injury. I already talked about it in the last video. I just think he's a guy who's definitely going to... Is he a max guy? Yeah, I think maybe, definitely.
No.
No?
No. He's not a max guy.
Not max, not like... No, he's not.
He's like
not
a
12... Max guy.
He's like a $12 million, $13 million guy.
Okay, yeah. What would the max be?
Well, max will be 16. So
yeah, no, he's not
15,
that.
16, yeah.
He's not that. But he is going to be an all-star point guard, perennial all-star guard. I guess now it's just a guard.
That'll be tough with all the competition at that position.
I just think he is. I think that when he's out there, he does so many different things, not just offensively, but he's a good rebounder. We saw 10 rebounds tonight. He can pass the ball. He's not just a scorer. And the rest of the season, you're probably not going to see him at his best because he's coming off the injury. He's not going to want to push it super hard, especially if the Suns start to fade a little bit in the playoff race. But before he went down, even last year, towards the end of that season with the Clippers, he was trying to prove himself. He's the guy. I think it was a great trade by the Suns. I mean, obviously, it was an amazing trade by the Suns.
I mean, they miss Jared Dudley so much now.
Seriously.
And PJ Tucker's turned into basically a better version of Jared Dudley.
So, yeah. Eric Bledsoe, stud. He'll be the Suns will lock him back up. He'll be there for years. So it'll be good. And if, with Dragic there, I really don't know if Gerald Green... I don't know what you're going to get out of Gerald Green from year to year.
Nobody knows that.
Nobody knows. Right now, he's playing great. Now he's coming off the bench again now. I still think they're a couple guys away from really being a great team. But they don't need a savior like Jermaine Wiggins or whoever else, Embiid or whoever. Jermaine Wiggins. Jermaine Wiggins isn't going to save them either. But so Joel Embiid,
they do need a tight end.
Jabari Parker. Those
they do need a tight end. Yeah. So we'll see if Andrew Wiggins ends up in Phoenix. And we'll see if Jermaine Wiggins ends up in Phoenix.
If he does, something went wrong.
Maybe they'll hire Felger to do PR or something. Maybe he'll watch basketball for the first time.
I did it in a video like a couple months ago too.
Yeah, that's all right. We won't edit it out, so everyone can see it.
Not.
So I wanted to bring this in before you went into Bledsoe. We already heard from Bledsoe.
I had to say.
We talked to Jeff Hornacek before the game about Goran Dragic. Had some good stuff to say about Dragic really coming to his own. So let's hear from that.
So is something unlocked with Goran this year, or is it really just putting the pieces around him that allow his game to thrive?
No, I think just like every other great player, they improve their game. I think his shooting has improved. Now I think teams don't know what to do. If they go behind on him, he stops and pops the three. If they go over the top, then he's able to penetrate and get around. If they try to jump out at him, he's figured out how to get around that guy. So I think he's improved his game, and then maybe put in better situations and give him more opportunities to get to the hole helps.
Schedule talk. That's the second part of this video. Hashtag schedule talk. So we have Nolans on Sunday, Dallas on Monday, then come back here for the Heat on Wednesday, and then Brooklyn on Friday. So that is the gauntlet.
That's a solid 0-4 week, I think,
yes.
for the Celtics. Over-under on Anthony Davis rebounds?
Let's go 20.
Go 20, okay. I'm going to push. I think he's going to get 20 on the dot.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 22.
He's beast mode right now. He's putting up like 15 boards and 20 points a game since he's, the last like 5 or 6 games or whatever. I mean, we were talking about a guy who's going to turn a franchise around. Anthony Davis is example number one. Obviously not this season. They've been killed with injuries. Even he's been injured. But, I mean, that's just a guy. Like, if you can get a guy like that on any team, I mean, New Orleans really lucked out there. They really did. So, Celtics aren't. There's nobody like that in this draft coming up.
Yeah.
I don't think Embiid is going to be Davis.
He could be of the same level, but maybe in a different way. But Anthony Davis is becoming everything that I think he's exceeding really expectations at this rate. Yeah,
he's doing it all with one eyebrow. Imagine if he had two. Can you imagine how much better he'd be?
What a detriment to his physical abilities there.
Imagine.
I mean, the wind drag you get off one eyebrow is really bad. But I'll go with 18 rebounds.
Okay,
I think
that's fair.
18's a lot, but it's kind of like reasonable for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's going against power forwards, so.
But the thing is, they're facing teams that have a lot to play for. The Nets have a ton to play for.
Yeah.
Dallas is fighting for their lives with Phoenix, who just won tonight.
Right.
They're trying to stay ahead of Phoenix.
And I'm surprised by Dallas. I thought that they would have tailed off by now, but they've proved me wrong. I thought they would miss the playoffs.
I'm rooting for Dallas because I'm going to be in Dallas for the week of the playoffs, first round of the playoffs, so I want to cover a couple games while I'm out there. Because we're not going to be doing Celtics playoffs games this year.
Well, they're not officially eliminated yet, but you know what? One team is.
Who's that?
The Lakers. As of tonight.
Really?
Yep, first team to be officially eliminated.
Now, what's amazing about that is Milwaukee could have one of the worst records of all time, and they're still in the playoff hunt.
They're not eliminated technically yet, but the Lakers, yes.
So can we predict that Milwaukee's going to make the playoffs?
I mean, I'm not willing to predict that, but I'm not saying you shouldn't. I mean, if you can still put odds on it, if the odds are out there, you might as well take it.
I think losing Gary Neal is probably the difference for them. I think that's what kind of plateaued the season, or torpedoed the season for them.
I like them better than Philly.
Okay, so Philly may never win a game again. So do the Celtics get a win on this?
If they do, it's going to be Sunday against New Orleans.
Really?
Yeah, because they're the worst team out of the bunch. Simple as that.
Well, that's simple.
And Rondo's going to play. Rondo's not going to play Monday against the Mavericks, so you can cross that one off the list. I mean, I highly doubt they're going to beat the Heat on Wednesday, even though it's home. And then they go back to Brooklyn, who is playing well, and they've been playing great since 2014 started, and they've been playing great over the last 8 games or so. So I don't expect them to win in Brooklyn either. So if you're hoping for a Celtics win, which I'm not sure why you would be, but if you are, you better really hope for Sunday.
So the Celtics are, as of recording, they're 3.5 games behind Orlando in the tank race for that third place spot, which is a very coveted spot.
That's gonna be tough.
Does that happen?
I don't think it happens. 5, I think the difference between 5 and 7 is almost double the percent. I think it's double the percentage points for getting the top pick. I think it goes from 15% to 30% chance-wise of getting the number 1 pick. So you really, I mean, Orlando might be out of the picture. Now you're thinking about the Lakers, you're thinking of the Jazz, and I mean, those 3 teams are going to be fighting for that 5th seed.
Well, it's the 4 through 6 right now.
Right.
Yeah, and don't forget they're in different orders right now because of winning percentage. But when everyone's played 82 games at the end of the year, then it's a coin toss.
Right.
And that
one game.
Yeah.
It's all about one game.
Yeah. So don't get those W's, Celtics. If
Lakers
you want to get
pretty
a good
bad.
player.
So it's going to be tough.
And of course, the Celtics, they've got the top 3 prospects, assuming it's Parker, Wiggins, and Embiid. Those are the 3 guys that really fit their needs. After that, there's not another guy in that elite tier that's like a perfect need for them. Marcus Smart doesn't really fit a need for them. Julius Randle, Dante Exum is probably good enough that you would go for him.
I think they would take. I think Ainge would take Exum over Smart.
Yeah,
and
Randle
and
probably.
Over Randle,
yeah.
Just because of the uncertainty, was around the guard situation, and he's a big.
I mean, there's a lot of
Exum's a big guard. I mean, is he a shooting guard? Is he a point guard? I mean, he's a big guard.
Well, a lot of people compare him to like a Sean Livingston almost,
right.
But even better. Like Sean Livingston meets Manu Ginobili.
Right.
Or really just Manu Ginobili.
So it's
Manu Ginobili is basically a point guard.
It just goes back to the whole thing. I mean, it's just a huge difference. One game is such a big difference. So it's going to come down to that. It's going to come down to one game, one win.
Well, it's come down to the end of the Garden Report. So I want to thank you. I want to thank Jimmy.
Thank you,
I want to
Jared.
thank myself. And Jimmy did that for me, so I'm just being conceited. So good night, guys. We will see you on Wednesday for the Miami game.
For Evans.
For Evans. Garden Report.